Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
This is the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. First, the headlines. Governor Fubara urges elders to sustain force of unity. Nwifuru orders whistleblowers release over alleged 3 billion naira scam. Group says PDP lacks moral rights to advise Tinubu. Tinubu says few subsidy removal will avert financial crisis. Dozens arrested at universities across the U.S. over Gaza. Man United may not qualify for Champions League. Rema claims same level as Burna Boy, Whiskey, Davido. In other news and details, Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has urged elders of the state to join his administration to salvage the soul of the state, especially well-meaning persons who are standing firmly with him to wield the force of unity to save it. Fubara, who disclosed this in a remark at the country home of a former governor of the state, Celestine Umehia, in Ubima Community, Kwere local government area of Rivers State, emphasized the importance of unity and determination among those who truly care about the well-being of Rivers State. The governor decried the evil of politics and bitterness and the telling danger it has on the progress of the state, which, according to him, should be discouraged as a bad political culture in contemporary times, adding that bitterness would not take the state anywhere. On his part, Umehia expressed to the governor the importance of receiving support and prayers from the people in order to achieve success, adding that having a strong connection with God is crucial as it leads to being in the majority and ultimately excelling and succeeding. Highlights of the event were the offering of prayers by leaders of the Kwere Supreme Council of Traditional Rulers for the governor and his administration, as well as the symbolic presentation of gifts to Governor Fubara in appreciation of his peaceful disposition and quality leadership of the state. Public affairs analyst has blamed the LMA tanker explosion on poor route control and stressed on the need for adequate road control management in the course of road construction across the states. Speaking on Atlantic Television Sunday, a public affairs analyst, John Idumange, said the LMA tanker explosion was high in damages as a result of poor road management in the course of the road construction.
Very common in Nigeria, and while you cannot attribute it to one factor alone, there are a lot of factors that are responsible for that. Now, this ring road that is being constructed, one would have thought that by now, in those busy areas, government will provide a way for this this small vehicle to have access to the other road. Here at Romekene area, some time ago, now the situation is better now. They were also facing a traffic gridlock where you have to go there and wait for a period of maybe 10.
Meanwhile, John Idumange has urged motorists and other road users to beware of the truck drivers as they are mostly on drugs and other illicit substances.
Especially tankers that are loaded with PMS or AGO. It's very important. We need to be careful with them. And number two, we need to check the drivers. Most of the drivers driving those trucks, those heavy, long vehicles, most of them are high on drugs. So many of them chew a lot of kola nut. Kola nut too is a kind of drug. When you abuse it, some, as they are leaving the park after loading, they take kai kai. And, I ask.
This is coming after 5 people were confirmed dead and over 70 cars burned in the tanker explosion at the LMS section of the East-West Road in Rivers State on Friday night. According to reports, the incident followed a patrol-laden tanker which collided with a heavy-duty truck, spilling its contents and bursting into flames. The fire spread to a long stretch of vehicles plying the Akpajo-One Road following the gridlock, which is a usual occurrence on the road now. President Bola Tinubu has expressed his heartfelt condolences to the families of the victims of the fire incident caused by an articulated vehicle conveying petroleum products at the LMS section of the East-West Road in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Commiserating with the government and people of Rivers State on this tragedy, which resulted in the loss of precious lives and property, President Tinubu praised for the speedy recovery of those injured in the incident. The President, through his media aide, Ajuru Ngelale, directed federal agencies in the state to continue liaising with the state government to provide the much-needed immediate support to all victims of the incident. He lauded the first responders in Rivers State for their bravery and dedication in assisting those affected by the accident, while expressing confidence that stricter safety regulations for the transportation of petroleum products will be implemented to prevent such tragedies in the future. 5 Benin traditional functionaries in Edo State have been suspended from their roles for engaging in sacrilegious conduct against Benin custom. The Benin Traditional Council, who disclosed their suspension in a statement signed by the EAC of Benin, Chief Sam Igbe, said the affected functionaries visited the Oni of Ife, Ogba Adeyeye, Ogunwusi, where they falsely claimed to be emissaries of the Oba of Benin and rendered inaccurate and disjointed account of the connection between the Benin royal dynasty and the Oniship of Ife. The council also described the conduct of the functionaries as inappropriate, sacrilegious, and calculated to ridicule traditional history and to bring disrepute to Benin custom. The statement also urged the general public to refrain from having anything to do with them as traditional functionaries in Benin Kingdom throughout their suspension. Operatives of the Edo State Police Command have arrested suspected members of the AE cult group who allegedly killed one Emmanuel Odiase in Auchi, Edo State last Monday. Eyewitness said Odiase was killed in the presence of his daughter, and the assailants were arrested after a hot chase by police operatives and members of the vigilante group. The command disclosed this in a statement shared on its X handle on Sunday. In another development, the command said its operatives from the South EBA Division and the Anti-Kidnapping and Cybercrime Unit arrested 7 cultists of the Black Axe Group from the scene of the violent attack between IA and 5 secret cult groups last Thursday. During the attack, one Umoru was shot dead by some members of the IA cult group, and the police said investigation is ongoing to unravel other issues. Political analyst says Dan Obi interfaced with the former governor of Rivers State, now then FCT Minister Ezemo Somwike in 2020, which caused a major impact on Obi's political career, which is now the anti-PDP leader in Edo State. Speaking on Atlantic Television Open Air, a political analyst, Ugochukwu Ifeanyichukwu, said Dan Obi's political diversion wasn't a surprise regarding his affiliation with FCT Minister Ezemo Somwike.
His value is in Ondo State. If Ayedetiwa and the APC National, you know why I'm calling APC National is that they normally put things on the table. You get this, you get that, you get this, you get that, and everybody says, okay, after that, I did not lose out. If they didn't quickly come and do that, and the types of Ojo, is it Ojo, the former Commissioner for Finance, his value is in those.
In view of the Edo State PDP crisis, Ugochukwu Ifeanyichukwu further identified that the anti-PDP faction, as led by Dan Obi, had resorted against the party following its disapproval of impeachment of former Deputy Governor Shaibu.
Of Togre, in all those places, they are so learned. Everybody has a professor in their kitchens in these kind of places. So there is nothing you will tell them. They will only follow what their mind tells them. Where
This is coming following the crisis rocking the Edo State chapter of the People's Democratic Party as another faction emerged within the party ahead of the governorship election in the state. Led by the National Vice Chairman, South Dan Obi, the faction said it won't support the governorship ambition of the PDP candidate, Aswe Igodalo. Some chieftains of the People's Democratic Party who recently resigned from the party in Imo State said they left the opposition party because it was no longer attractive. This is coming shortly after its 98th National Executive Committee meeting held in Abuja on Thursday, 18th April, where the opposition party fell into a web of controversy following the outcome of the meeting. PDP chieftains that resigned from the party in the state include Chief Emmanuel Okemunolu, the immediate past Imo North senatorial candidate, Honorable Solomon Onweguchulam, a former Imo PDP secretary, Pascal Zo, a former Owerri PDP zonal vice chairman, and Chidi Okoli, as well as others. One of the resigned Imo PDP members, Chief Joseph Wachuku, in his letter addressed to the party chairman in Aladima Ward 1 of Owerri Municipal, said since 2000, he has been an integral part of the People's Democratic Party and had chairman of PDP in Imo State, and regrets recent activities in the party which has shown that the party is heading to doom and extinction. As a true party man, this goes against my personal beliefs. Another former chieftain of the party in the state who recently resigned, Chief Chukudi Mayor Eze, in his letter addressed to the PDP chairman in Oike Ward in the state, said he writes officially to resign from the People's Democratic Party, effective day of April 2024, due to very personal reasons. Governor of Ebonyi State, Francis Nwifuru, has ordered the immediate release of the People's Democratic Party Publicity Secretary Chima Nwoba from detention. Nwifuru, who disclosed this during a Holy Mass at the Government House Chapel, Centenary City in Abakaliki, told the Commissioner for Commerce and Industry, Oguzo Ofia Nwali, to temper justice with mercy and consider standing down the case against Chika Nwoba. The governor implored the secretary to the state government, Professor Grace Umezurike, to heed the court's ruling regarding Chika Nwoba's bail and oblige by signing a surety to ensure he meets his bail conditions. Nwoba had been in detention since February after writing a petition to the Economic and Financial Crisis Commission against the Commissioner for Commerce and Industry, Ofia Nwali, over alleged embezzlement of 3 billion naira meant for empowerment. Suspected offender, simply identified as Aziz, has allegedly jumped into the lagoon in Lagos and drowned while trying to avoid arrest after being accused of stealing some bags of cement. The spokesperson of the police command in Lagos, SP Benjamin Hundain, who confirmed this, said the director in charge of the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency in Lagos Central reported the case at Ikoyi Police Division. He also said on getting to the scene, he met a large crowd by the waterside watching the lifeless body of a man who had drowned, and the corpse had been evacuated to Mainland General Hospital mortuary, Yaba, for autopsy and preservation. Lagos State Police Command says an investigation has commenced into the death of a man identified as the chairman of Victoria Garden City in the Lekki area of Lagos State, reacting to a post by an ex-user, Deji Lambo, who tweeted that a 42-year-old man, Gihan Mbelu, was found unconscious in a C300 4MATIC car, died. The command spokesperson Benjamin Hundain confirmed the incident via his X handle, saying investigation has commenced into the matter. Meanwhile, he was pronounced dead at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, and his body was deposited in the hospital's morgue, and the case was reported to the police for an investigation to commence to ascertain the circumstances surrounding Mbelu's death. Minister of Works, Senator Dave Umahi, says stalled demolition delaying coastal highway project. He disclosed this in Lagos during the flag-off of the demolition of a section of the landmark beach, the Mami Chula Beach Lifestyle, to give way to the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. Umahi began the demolition after he inspected kilometers 13, 16 and 20 to ensure the most economical and viable way to access the coastal roads without damage, adding that the demolition was necessary since the landmark center was located on federal government's right-of-way. He stressed that a number of structures would be affected by the demolition, adding that compensation would be provided. The minister, who acknowledged that some people were opposed to the project, insisted that it was necessary for economic development and assured those affected by the demolition that they would be adequately compensated, adding that documentation would start between May 2nd and May 3rd. Returning officer for the All Progressives Congress during the April 28 governorship primaries in Ward 10 of Akoko Southwest Local Council area of Ondo State, Alaba Abe, popularly known as Excel, has been killed by unknown gunmen. The incident took place on Saturday night around 9 p.m. in front of the deceased residence in Superior Akoko within the council area. Eyewitness said the assailants ambushed the deceased as he was about to enter his house and fatally shot him. Kayode Faswa, the Director of Information for the Lucky Aiyedatiwa campaign organization Foot Soldiers, who confirmed the killing, called on the police authorities to ensure the safety and security of its members against any potential threats from political opponents. According to Faswa, the late Alaba Abe was a dedicated and resourceful coordinator who campaigned tirelessly for the success of the election and the emergence of Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, while the police public relations officer in the state, Fumilayo Odunlami Omisanya, said an investigation has commenced to apprehend those behind the murder. Candidates of People Democratic Party have won all the championship positions in 33 local government areas in Saturday's local government election in Oyo State. The Oyo State Independent Electoral Commission conducted the election on Saturday and on Sunday declared PDP candidates as winners of the election in all the 33 local government areas. The results were announced at the OISEX office in Ibadan, the state capital. Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun has advised the church to redeem society by upholding core family values. The governor disclosed this while he declared open the third session of the 16th Synod of the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion Egba Diocese held at Onikolobo, Abeokuta. Abiodun, who was represented at the event by the head of service, Mr. Kehinde Onasanya, blamed the decay in society on poor parenting and urged the need for godly parenting to ensure stability and justice in society, adding that the family is the smallest political unit in any setting, and concluded that political mobilization starts with the family as the determinant of peace and stability in any nation. He also said that society is facing this serious challenge regarding the management of poor parenting as a result of a lackadaisical disposition and the absence of divine guidance on the part of parents in the course of building a home. Also speaking, the Alake of Ebaland, Ogba Adeto Dotun Badegbo, said the theme of the synod, godly parenting, the Paneka for rescuing a degenerated society from gloom and doom, was loaded as parents must make concerted efforts to train their children properly in order not to be put to shame as exemplified in the Bible by Prophet Eli, whose children brought shame and dishonor to him. Police in Ekiti State have arrested a man, Bernard Shedrack, while attempting to snatch a bike from a commercial motorcycle rider. The Commissioner of Police Ekiti Command, Mr. Adeniran Akinwale, said the suspect was nabbed by men of Oye Divisional Police Headquarters in collaboration with some residents of Trinity Hostel along Igbe Road, Oye Ekiti, on Thursday. A statement by the State Police Public Relations Officer, Sunday Abutu, said investigation revealed that the suspect and his fleeing gang member specialized in snatching motorcycles from innocent motorcyclists within Oye Ekiti, but ran out of luck on 25th April 2024. The statement also said in the course of an investigation, 2 commercial motorcycle riders who earlier reported a case of their motorcycles came and identified the arrested suspect as one of the 2-man gang that snatched their motorcycles on 2nd April and 22nd April, respectively. Police said during interrogation the suspect confessed to the commission of the crime and said that the fleeing suspect was his leader in the unlawful business of snatching motorcycles, adding that they both came from Benin, Edo State, and started the unlawful business in November 2023. Residents of the Federal Capital Territory are commending the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike on the project of transformation to fulfill the hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The FCT Minister Nyesom Wike received the accolades when on inspection during road constructions in Abuja and satellite towns across the 6 area councils of FCT. Atlantic Television Network correspondent Joseph Moses views the achievement of Barrister Nyesom Wike for the few months he has been in office.
The administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is gradually taking shape, fulfilling the promises made to transform Abuja, courtesy the Honorable Minister of FCT, Barrister Nyesom Wike. Barrister Wike has consistently inspected roads, bridges in Abuja City and satellite towns in all area councils of FCT, including the renovation of the International Conference Center, Abuja. Wike again has drastically reduced insecurity in Abuja by providing motorcycles to security agencies in order to fight insecurity in the rural areas across all area councils. Atlantic Television Network gets the views of Abuja residents on the new developments so far.
I think with the question you've just thrown, Wike actually, let me say his noble work does not only start from FCT here. He started his work from River State, which he is popularly known as Mr. Project. Actually, he's coming on board in FCT. A lot of road infrastructure has changed. The abandoned projects are all reawakening. And we can see it, even the blind can feel the sounds of some of these bulldozers, the graders and all of that. I think it has been up and doing. Actually, road has been ongoing on constructions, and the networking has been, a turnaround situation. I think nobody who lives in the FCT or comes in to do 1 or 2 things will say he's not feeling the impact. He has been very noble in that aspect. Actually, the man is a man that we should all applaud for. If it has been like this for the past years, I don't think Abuja would have been like this. So he has actually done the needful, even at this stage. I think we believe that he's the only person who can redeem us when it comes to road infrastructure in Abuja.
Actually, the FCT minister is trying his best, because if you can see inside the town, everywhere is being tied. He is working hard to make sure that he keep the FCT clean. Actually, in terms of security, the minister is trying, because like my own area, we have been battling with all these area boys, all these bad boys. But within this short period of a time now, at least we are not facing all these challenges again. Yes, at least the pressure has reduced. We are not passing through all these difficulties in terms of in the night. You'll be hearing people knocking at the door, beating here and there. At least it has reduced for now.
Actually, we give him credit for that, because it has been long. Abuja have not gotten a minister like him. He have been doing marvelous. in time of construction and security-wise, because before he come into power, or before he was appointed as a minister, some of the roads that are under construction in Abuja have been abandoned. But now, almost all, with even the one that have not been touched before he came in, he is constructing them, of which almost everybody is happy with it. And in time of security-wise, they have done well, because the more you open roads, the more the security will be tight. Some of those hoodlums, they will not like roads to be opened, because they need a chalked up place so that they will perform their bad habit. So with what yes or Winke, in fact, actually, we can give him credit for all what we are seeing in FCT.
Looking at what is going on, looking at development that we have encountered in Abuja, it's looking like a promising future. That there are things that are coming to be better for Abuja residents and citizens. But I don't want to be too hopeful, because we are not really sure if it's Wike or if it's the local government chairmen or people that are in that, or the leaders in that actually segment. But if it is Wike or also the leaders that are under him, it shows that maybe he's an active leader. It shows that he's an active leader, or he's also a leader that actually is pushing people under him to do better. So let's just be hopeful to see what comes out of this project, because it's
Nigerian Air Force says that there was strong evidence that the terrorists responsible for the recent attacks on the troops of the Nigerian Army at Bassa in Niger State have been eliminated by airstrikes. A statement by the NAF spokesperson, Air Vice Marshal Edward Gapquet, said the terrorists were also responsible for the multiple improvised explosive devices incident along the Pandogari-Alawa road within the same local government area. Gapquet said the airstrikes were carried out on Saturday, April 27, by the air component Operation Well Punch, a military operation against bandits and terrorists in the north central. According to the NAF spokesperson, the strikes were executed at the stronghold of a notorious terrorist kingpin, popularly known as Malam Omar, and several other commanders located in the Alawa forest area. Former Benue Governor Gabriel Suswam has criticized the establishment of state police, declaring that Nigeria would go down if governors had such powers. He supported the Inspector General of Police and argued that the governors will use the outfits to deal with political opponents. He recalled that the native police in the then northern Nigeria was disbanded because of its arbitrariness and misuse of power, and expressed fears about where the states could recruit state policemen from. Suswam opted for community policing to help local settlements monitor the movement of people in and around their areas, and urged the government to fund the police force properly and give them modern tools to fight crime in the society. He urged the National Assembly to look at the idea critically and place national interest above the desires of state governors. Group focused on peace building and the reduction of violent clashes among farmers and herders in Adamawa State, known as Peace Architecture Dialogue, has called for the adoption of state policing. The chairman of PAD this said its intervention has immensely contributed to reducing violent clashes involving farmers and pastoralists in several local government areas. The group also lauded Governor Amadou Fentiuri's intervention, adding that the release of the sum of 10.5 million naira as compensation to victims of the Lamurde attack prevented reprisal attacks. All Progressives Congress has emerged victorious in the elections held across the 11 local government areas of Gombe State on Saturday. The chairman of the Gombe State Independent Electoral Commission, Saidu Shehu, who announced the results, said the APC won all 11 local government areas, including Kautungo and Shongom, where it won unopposed. According to Shehu, while collating and announcing the election result, only 5 of 19 registered political parties participated in the election, including the APC People's Democratic Party, Accord Party, Zenith Labour Party, and Young Progressives Party. Governor Muhammadu Yahaya, who voted at the Yahaya Umar polling unit 010, urged defeated candidates to support the winners and form a united front. Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum says it has concluded plans to convert the state's Pilgrims Welfare Board to a commission. Zulum, who disclosed this in Maiduguri, the state capital, said the decision would ensure accountability and transparency in government spending. He spoke while inaugurating the state's 21-member Hajj committee, chaired by Senator Kaka Lawan. The governor said establishing the commission will reduce government spending and ensure more accountability and transparency, while assuring that the committee would improve the welfare of pilgrims during the 2024 Hajj exercise and charge the committee members to work diligently towards meeting the expectations of pilgrims. Responding, the committee's chairman, Lawan, urged the committee members to consider the assignments a serious job involving issues of welfare, safety, and the logistics involved from Maiduguri to Saudi Arabia and returning them to the country, and also expressed gratitude to Zulum for finding them worthy and assured him of delivering on the task given to them. Former Governor of Jigawa State, Sule Lamido, says the Northern Governor's recent United States trip to discuss insecurity in the region exposed their ignorance of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Lamido said embarking on such a journey to discuss insecurity, which he said is a matter on the exclusive legislative list, showed the substance of the governor and advised them to engage on issues which are on the exclusive legislative list, such as security. Defending the trip, Katsina State Governor Malam Diko Umar Rada said the meeting was part of efforts to find a lasting solution to Nigeria's security challenges through international collaborations, while Lamido disagreed, saying having a summit on an issue the governors have not fully grasped, adding that many of their citizens still lack basic amenities. He also said even if the governors were so serious about having a lecture on security, they could have approached the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies in Kuru or the Administrative Staff College of Nigeria in Badagry to get more insight. The former governor, however, blamed the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the National Intelligence Agency for failing to properly guide the governors. Democratic Front says the People's Democratic Party has no moral right and justification to advise President Bola Tinubu on governance or arrogate to itself the magic wand to rescue the nation's economy, having plunged into ruins for 16 years. A statement jointly signed by its chairman, Danjuma Mohammed, and Secretary Wale Adedayo, who reacted to the communique issued by PDP at the end of its National Executive Committee meeting, argued that the country has still not recovered from the mindless plundering of the economy in the PDP years. The group said if the party's neck had limited itself to its desperate but unrealistic bid to unify the dilapidating structures of a deeply divided political party, which the PDP has become, that communique would have attracted better attention, adding that the absurdity and the manner of the NEC members exhibited pretentious insensitivity to the tragic consequences of their party's 16 years of misrule resonated the role PDP played to hinder the growth and development of the Nigerian state. The group was of the opinion that a political party which plundered Nigeria's hard-earned resources and brutally squandered its national patrimony for those lengthy years was expected to display remorse and responsibility on matters of economic revitalization and statecraft. You are watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. We return after this break.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all your bets on the land beyond the mountains through
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought very firmly. Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories, business, social economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all your bets on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Its chairman, Emeka Nwakwa, and secretary, Dakpo Okubanjo, the group described the standoff between the former governor and the EFCC as unnecessary, saying it is an affront to the sanctity of the law and the integrity of the president's war against corruption. The group said, as a staunch member of the APC, Bello has no reason to fear. Non-governmental organization Muslim Media Watch Group of Nigeria has condemned prison stakeholders in the country over incessant jailbreaks, which it says are putting innocent lives at risk. The group said that jailbreaks are becoming rampant because of the poor maintenance of Nigeria's prisons and advocated for concrete steps to stem the tide. A statement by its national coordinator, Alhaji Ibrahim Abdullahi, said the groups said that jailbreaks are condemnable because they are capable of jeopardizing innocent lives and even properties. It also called for the same in all parts of the country, saying it is unfashionable to locate prisons inside city centers. Senate Committee on Constitution Review says the Senate working with the House of Reps on Constitution Review. This is coming after the 10th Senate on Committee, while the Senate leader, Opeyemi Bamidele, would be the deputy chairperson. The Senate president also said the 1999 Constitution needed a review because it contained many issues that needed to be put right, and the week after the inauguration, the committee held an inaugural meeting where it set a 24-month deadline. Also, the inaugural meeting, the committee chairman Barrow said observations raised by members would be used as roadmap in the workings of the committee. And now some business news. Senate Committee on Finance says it is exploring a range of policy options to mitigate the impact of the currency's decline in value and foster economic stability in the country. Key measures, according to the committee in a statement signed by its chairman, Senator Sani Musa, said plans have been put in place for the robust oversight of fiscal policies, engagement with key stakeholders, and the formulation of targeted interventions to support key sectors of the economy. Musa said the statement became necessary to address the current state of the economy and the need for concerted efforts at tackling the instability and continuous depreciation of the naira, adding that the economic managers will adhere strictly to the norms and standards set by this administration to ensure that we achieve the desired outcomes in taking Nigeria to its economic growth and prosperity, while pledging the support of the National Assembly to the executive arm of government to achieve the set goals. He urged Nigerians to remain vigilant and resilient as they navigate these uncertain times, saying together we can overcome the challenges facing our economy and chart a path towards prosperity for all. The Senate Committee on Finance said it is closely monitoring the situation and is committed to working collaboratively with relevant stakeholders to implement effective policies and strategies, and it's imperative to address the root causes of naira depreciation, including fluctuations in global oil prices, fiscal deficits, and structural imbalances in the economy. President Bola Tinubu says his administration's removal of the fuel subsidy was in the best interest of Nigeria, saying it was necessary not to plunge the country into bankruptcy. He stressed the country's belief in economic collaboration and inclusiveness among other nations to drive stability on the global stage. Tinubu, who disclosed this during a panel session at the ongoing World Economic Forum in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, which focuses on global collaboration, growth and energy for development, said the economic collaboration and inclusiveness are necessary to engender stability in the rest of the world. This is coming after Tinubu, on his inauguration on May 29, 2023, declared to the citizens his resolve to stop the payment of the fuel subsidy, saying subsidy is gone, which the federal government used to help the citizens ameliorate the payment for fuel purchases at higher prices, which later became a sort of nightmare for the populace as it had partly contributed to the exorbitant prices of commodities in the markets, especially food items, transportation costs, among others. Tinubu equally said the fuel subsidy removal brought about accountability, transparency, and fiscal discipline for the country. Socioeconomic rights and accountability. The suit filed at the Federal High Court in Abuja, SERAP is seeking an order of mandamus to direct and compel the NNPC to account for and explain the whereabouts of the missing $2.4 billion and 164 billion naira oil revenues as documented in a report by the Auditor General. The organization said the failure to account for the missing oil revenues reflects the nation's oil giants' continuing failure to uphold the principles of transparency and accountability, adding that it is a grave violation of the provisions of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, among others. SERAP condemned the missing oil revenues, lamenting that had the NNPCL and its subsidiaries accounted for the remitted the disappeared public funds into the Federation account, it is likely that more funds would have been allocated to the fulfillment of economic and social rights of Nigerians, such as increased spendings on public goods and services, adding that the missing oil revenues have also impeded Nigerians' ability to enjoy their economic and social rights and deny them access to essential public goods and services, especially at a time of cost of living crisis in the country. Governors of the 36 states of the Federation have agreed to work together to tackle epileptic power supply in the country. As part of measures to achieve this objective, the governors have agreed to take steps to break the monopoly of DISCOs in power distribution access across the state. This is coming after In March 2023, then President Muhammadu Buhari signed into law the constitutional amendment allowing states in the country to license, generate, transmit and distribute electricity, which was made known in a tweet by the presidential media spokesperson Tolu Ogunlesi, while President Bola Tinubu recently signed the Electricity Act of 2023 into law, marking an important development in the country's electricity sector. The act claims it aims to break the monopoly in electricity generation, transmission and distribution at the national level, and also grants power to generate, transmit and distribute electricity to states, companies and individuals. Also, organized labor, comprising the Nigerian Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress, has asked the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory to work out modalities to break the monopoly of the power distribution companies in the country, according to the labor unions. The DISCOs, as currently constituted, are enjoying a monopoly in power distribution, making them behave in ways that are untoward towards their customers. Nigerian Ports Authority on Airport Complex says it has received a big vessel, Kotak Sempaka, with 566 containers. A statement by the management of NPA said the vessel, sailing under the flag of Singapore, has a length overall of 300 meters, and the successful berthing of the vessel demonstrated the agency's capacity and readiness for large ship calls. The managing director of the MBA, Mohammed Bello Koko, said it is a confirmation of the capacity and readiness of eastern ports for vessel traffic, which shows that investments in channel navigability and security are yielding results and promise to sustain the advocacy for the patronage of the eastern ports. The general manager in a statement in Lagos State, the Maersk Line Stadehorn vessel, with a length overall of 300 meters and a width of 48 meters, was received at the Federal Ocean Terminal, Onne, Rivers State, at 16:20 hours on August 15th. Maritime experts said Nigeria is losing a sum of $9.2 billion annually to foreign shipping lines that are handling cargo that a national fleet is supposed to handle. Now to international tidbits. A group of citizens want tougher laws on violence against women across Australia in response to a wave of recent violence against women. The demonstrators said they want gender-based violence to be declared a national emergency and stricter laws put in place to stop it. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said the issue was a national crisis, adding that in Australia, women were killed on average of every 4 days. Responding to calls by protesters for violence against women to be classified as national emergency, Albanese said the classification was normal, used during floods or bushfires to release a temporary injection of cash. But Australia's Federal Attorney General Mark Dreyfus has rejected holding a royal commission into gender-based violence and has repeatedly called gender-based violence an epidemic that is not new, adding that in 2021, marches took place across the country over allegations of sexual misconduct within the government, while in all 27 women have been killed in the first 119 days of 2024 following data compiled by the campaign group. Duke of Sussex will return to the UK in just over a week for a ceremony marking the 10th anniversary of the Invictus Games. Prince Harry will attend the Thanksgiving service at St. Paul's Cathedral, London, on May 8 and will give a reading during the service, while actor Damien Lewis will recite a poem. Prince Harry was last seen in the UK in February for a brief visit to see King Charles after his cancer diagnosis, and it is the first major event he will have attended in the UK for some time. He also suggested there would be more visits to the UK to see his family. The King will begin with a symbolic trip to a cancer treatment center next Tuesday, while his summer plans include a state visit where he will host the Emperor and Empress of Japan. Many people were arrested at college campuses across the U.S. as students protest against the war in Gaza. Green Party presidential candidate Jill Stein was among those detained by police, and protesters are demanding institutions boycott companies and individuals with ties to Israel, while some Jewish students have complained about alleged anti-Semitism for some demonstrators. A spokesperson for Ms. Stein said she was among those to have been arrested at Washington University in St. Louis, Missouri, while the Green Party presidential candidate was not currently believed to be facing charges. California State Polytechnic became the latest to announce it would move to remote teaching, while the protests have seen in-person teaching cancelled and graduation ceremonies postponed. At Northeastern University in Boston, over 100 protesters were arrested for trespassing by the Massachusetts State Police after refusing to clear their tent from college grounds. And now to sports news. Minister of Sports John Eno is set to declare open the Sports Writers Association of Nigeria SWAN full council meeting scheduled to hold on the 2nd of May 2024 in Kano. Chairman National Mobilization Committee Abdul Gafar Oladimeji, who is also the secretary of the SWAN Kano Council, said the conference is the first of its kind under the leadership of the national president of the association, Benjamin Isaiah, adding that the national full council meeting of SWAN is a requirement of the association. He said the forthcoming meeting is going to be attended by 130 delegates, including 17 NEC members, all former presidents, state chairmen, secretaries, and ex-officio members of the body. In the same vein, the meeting, according to Abdul Gafar Oladimeji, is to review and discuss members that were suspended and those that are supposed to become patrons of the association, while the national awards would be conferred on some Nigerians that serve the nation, including the Minister of Sports, John Eno. Other personalities to be giving awards include Kano State Commissioner for Information, Babadan T.A., former NFA Chairman Ibrahim Galadima, and Isiyaku Umar Tofar. Sunshine Stars technical advisor Kennedy Boboye says the team lacked productive direction before the appointment of the new Ondo State Commissioner of Sports, Saka Yusuf Ogunleye. The former Aqua United coach urged the club supporters not to relent in their support for the team. This is coming after Ogunleye suspended Tunde Ogunja, the general manager of Sunshine Stars, immediately after his appointment. Sunshine Stars will be in action against Shooting Stars in Ibadan on Sunday today. Manchester United will not play in next season's Champions League. This was confirmed after Saturday's fixtures in the Premier League. This is coming after United threw away a one-goal lead at Old Trafford to draw 1-1, with relegation threatened Burnley, while Aston Villa were also held to a 2-2 draw at home by Chelsea. These two results mean that even if United win all their 4 games left, they will only amass 66 points. Villa, who occupy 4th spot, already have 67 points and have 3 matches left, while Tottenham are 5th on 60 points and have 5 games remaining. And now to entertainment news. Famous Nigerian singer Divine Ikubo, aka Rema, has claimed he is on the same level as Wizkid, Davido, and Burna Boy. Burna Boy and Wizkid and Davido are widely regarded as the biggest Nigerian Afrobeat artists in the world and are jointly referred to as the Big Three. Rema is now laying claims to the elite list, asserting that he is now in the league. His post elicited mixed reactions, with many in agreement with him, while others insisted that despite his stream and chart successes, he needs years of consistency to earn it. Wife of late Yoruba movie star Mufutwa Sani Abdullahi, popularly known as Ajigi Jaga, says she and her children were